Hello, and welcome to the 4th episode of Happy Guys, the podcast of That Owl Guy and me, the Happy Hamster. Today we'll be talking about...
Master has given Galby sick!
Well, that and relationships, because today is our special Valentine's Day episode. We also have a special guest, the one you heard in the intro. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy our podcast.
Get me some knowledge, hopefully I can see life and fly to an island. Tired of hearing my parents yelling for money, hoping I can find a place to get them all this fucking block. Every summer at least once someone be getting shot, so I stay inside writing rhymes in my lovely spot. Been rapping, I just need a damn moment. Been quiet cause I'm brainstorming so I can show them what I've been working on. Lately I just work a lot. Everybody want the top, but authentic's what they not. Be yourself, man. Be yourself.
Okay, we're ready for our special Singles Awareness Day episode.
You just called it that.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's like when I posted on like Thursday or Friday. That's why I called this thing, not Valentine's Day.
I'm glad we're starting off this episode with me already.
Oh, you started this morning with you hating me.
That's true.
Just a little bit.
Can we explain the situation to all the people?
Okay, we can explain the situation.
So, I decided that sleep was a good thing. We decided that we were going to do this at 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. And I got here... What time did I get here at, Sebastian?
Happy got here at 9:10.
9:10.
Yeah.
So I was 10 minutes late.
Yep.
And Guy was really upset about it.
I wasn't...
He was really upset.
I was annoyed, but I am unfortunately unable to become generally upset at this current time.
He was crying for a little bit.
Well, on the inside. I'm not able to cry
there
on
were
the
tears
outside.
on the outside.
Okay.
There were tears on the outside.
But we are being
He was
rude.
holding a
We
pillow.
are being rude happy because we have not introduced our special guest, Galby. Galby, say hi.
God, you guys are like a merry old couple. I love it.
Okay.
All I heard was merry old couple.
Very old.
We're a merry old couple. We used to be the merry men of the forest.
He's here for our Singles Awareness Day or Valentine's Day episode because we're going to be talking about dating and relationships and romantic type stuff and whatnot for the next hour and a half or so.
Which is pretty topical, actually.
Yeah, pretty topical concerning the general holiday. First holiday episode, second guest episode, fourth Happy Guys episode.
I meant the topicalness in your realm of the world.
Oh, I guess it is especially topical in my realm of the world. In particular, I was hoping we would get more to the embarrassing stuff first, because then it'd be chronological and then getting onto the part. So it'd be like a movie that starts off a bit pathetic and then it ends up being happy in the end, even though it's not really filled with that much plot. It's kind of obvious that they're going to be together, whatever thoughts, things, and whatever is going to happen. It's just sort of like arbitrary. And here I'm rambling on again, which I'm
This isn't the Matrix. Stop dodging the question.
Okay, so if I want to... Okay, so what has happened recently is... Well, personally, in my more recent past experience, dating and I haven't been the best of friends. We haven't got along so very well. I've tried it and looked for different alternatives, and I'm not saying that it's dating's fault. It was my fault partially for a while, like a long while.
If I may, let's just all agree that dating is everyone's frenemy. Like, dating is nobody's friend.
Yes, people still use the term
well, I
frenemy?
mean, it's Happy's
I do.
friend. It's Happy's friend, apparently. I mean, he's sort of not very hard for him to get in or out of a relationship.
Dating never was hard for me.
Yeah, I don't really get it. How can such like a little like chubby hamster get to do all the?
Pretty sure
hamsters
make quite a lot.
That's true,
frequently.
but they also sometimes eat their young, so that's not exactly kosher.
Especially, there might be something I haven't told you.
Oh.
No, I have not eaten my own children.
Okay.
I've never had children.
Okay, so there...
That you're aware of.
That I'm aware of.
It could just be
I
an
think
instinctual rage.
The mechanics would be kind of difficult for that to happen, but...
Yeah. But yes,
there would have to
anyway.
be some pretty weird circumstances. But it could happen.
Okay. But yeah, dating and me have not gotten along very well. I've had a fair share of rejections. I had a few rejections, a couple of rejections from women that I have not propositioned, if you can believe that. So I'm feeling kind of good right now, considering that I've had a recent proposition that was not foregone or ignored or otherwise repudiated in any fashion, way, shape, or form. And I guess that's making me feel a little bit happy, and I'm in a sort of ungodly, sinfully content state on this early morning when I usually wouldn't be. So, yeah.
Aww, he's in love.
I wouldn't say that exactly. I mean, I don't
Wow.
know. I don't want to come on to whatever or anything. It's still very new and inconclusive, and I'm positive on it, but I'm still as apprehensive as I've always been about everything else. But positively apprehensive.
We should talk about that sometime this episode. Balancing the fine line of seeming too desperate and seeming not interested.
Yeah.
Because I have trouble dancing that line.
Yeah.
And I so never have. It's just, I don't know why. But
See, it's
never
just
been a
Galby
problem.
and I being real people, and then we have Happy over here is like, I don't get what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, Happy over here being the real, the god that I am.
Oh.
Half hamster, half robot.
Oh no, I'm not the robot here. He's the robot. Guy is definitely the robot.
Does not compute. I don't think that that's fallacious. That's inherently a fallacy. So, yeah. So that's sort of where I am right now. A new thing that could blossom into something nice, I suppose. And I'm feeling a bit nervous about this because she might be listening to this at some point. But whatever. So let's move on to other people's personal everything else.
Well, we've had the happy, or no, the happy, I'm happy. We've had the guy experience. So, to explain the happy experience,
Yep.
I have dated a lot of people,
Yep.
and not many of them were for that long,
Mm.
and not all of them were good decisions.
Yeah.
I would say the vast majority were, but the one that I'm with now, we've been together for about 4 months now, so
Yeah, that's
things
good.
things are chugging along pretty well, and I'm feeling pretty positive. So we're stable and everything. We don't fight any more than what is healthy. So I'm seeing all good signs. All good signs.
That's good.
So that's where I'm at right now.
I don't understand when people say, "Oh, we're a great couple. We never fight." It's all like,
Yeah, no.
it's like,
no.
like, I mean, like, it's a good thing that you don't fight, but when you have arguments and disagreements and stuff, it's that time that you can show how good you can communicate to your partner.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I've had, in relationships that I've had in the past that actually did turn out or turn up at all, I've had arguments and disagreements, but I've never really had, like, a fight where I was sort of, like, yelling or sort of like, "Ugh, I'm right and you're wrong, and I'm angry and you're angry," and we're screaming angry things into each other's, like, audible, flappy hearing devices. So it hasn't really been. I've just always tried to construct really, really sort of calm and peaceful dialogue, and I'm not really into the whole, oh yes, you have an opinion. That's great that you have this thing that you want to say, but could you be like a little bit more calm about it and a little bit more whatever about it? Because I'm more of a mellow kind of person, sort of a more low energy kind of person in that respect.
I mean,
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah. The most ironic fight I've ever had, it was with one of my exes, and they were fighting with me about how during our arguments I was always too calm and too level-headed, and they just wanted me to get like passionate, just like scream at them, and I was just like, okay.
Just like, do you want me to roar? Do you want me to talk at this level? Do you want me to talk at this? Does this make you feel better?
I don't entirely get that, because any fight that I've had, I mean, I haven't had that many real fights, but any fight that I've had, it's never been like we've tried to be civil, I say in air quotes. Like we've never tried to be calm. I mean, we never, like, yelled at each other.
Do you just, like, throw insults at each other?
No, we don't even insult. We always just... It's more like a couple of congressmen who are really passionate about what they're trying to pass or not pass, and they get on the floor and they're just like, listen, these are all the reasons, and you just have to listen. How do you not? It doesn't make any sense.
You have to be more specific about the country, because depending on which Congress it is, that could include fist fighting.
Like the U.S. Congress. But my most honorable, admirable coworker has just said it's absolutely wrong.
I mean, that's how I start all of my arguments on you.
Honorable,
my most honorable,
most admirable
SO.
Yeah. So yeah. But
no, we never like get. And I don't think I've ever yelled at someone I've been dating while like having a fight. I say in air quotes.
Okay.
I haven't had that many like real fights. Had a few.
Like, but not any real fights. Not like, oh my goodness. I mean, generally I like you, but I sort of hate you right now. Sort of.
No, I've had those moments.
Oh, just not as whatever. I think now I'm realizing it's not that I didn't have any malicious events in romantic relationships of the past. Maybe I'm just more of a passive-aggressive person, which might not be the best. So instead of sort of yelling at someone, I'll sort of go like, oh, so you think this, which means you probably think this, but that doesn't seem right all the way, so that's sort of contradictory inherently. Don't you want to fix that terrible logic of yours? And which isn't the best thing. It might even be a little bit worse than sort of, hey, I have this problem for this reason, and I think you're wrong because of this, as opposed to, you know what, the way you think is kind of dumb right now, and I'm going to try and point it out and make you feel bad about it.
Yeah, like it's like being passive is bad, being aggressive is bad, being passive aggressive is the worst.
You mean the best? You've got the best worst of both worlds.
I am asserting myself. I am being assertive, which is the best.
I am passively being assertive.
Passive assertive.
I'm passive assertive.
You know, when you say that you do this whole passive aggressive thing, I know exactly what you're talking about because you do this to me all the time, and it makes me want to punch you in the face.
Oh, well,
because you get this passive aggressive like tone of voice whenever you're trying to tell me how my opinions are wrong.
That your opinions are wrong. It's just that there are other views to consider.
No, you think they're wrong. No, you think they're wrong.
What matters?
No, you think they're wrong.
What matters is that, you know what? An unexamined life is not worth living. So I'm just like helping you fully examine your life in a whole bunch of aspects. Like Socrates to Athens, I am the gadfly, spurring your horse of a life into further action.
Now, what is that action, Sebastian? Tell me what that action is. Is it my fist connecting with your face?
Well, not yet, so...
Yeah, I haven't punched you in the face yet.
I feel like
I've been very civil.
I'm doing okay now.
I've been very civil,
I'm
happy. I'm proud
Thank
of
you. Thank you.
Just enough to spur annoyed conversation and feelings, but not enough to actually incur violence, which is exactly where I want it to be. But yeah.
I'm not sure if you want it to be just at that point of not incurring violence.
Well, that's when it's most
there.
interesting, and I don't get hurt, so why would I not want it to be there?
Because you'll get a coffee mug thrown at you. I mean, it's not
that's
violent.
That's violent.
Not if it doesn't hit you.
That's violent. That's still violent. You can still have violent actions that don't end up in contact if they're aggressive enough and pointed in a threatening fashion. They're still violent acts or expressions. So... without the violence, it's pretty good. It's a good dating advice. Without the violence, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah.
That's probably the biggest sign of needing to leave somebody is violence.
Yeah.
Unless if you're into that, like if that turns you on and it's like a pre-arranged thing, you know, like a BDSM relationship, then, you know, like what happens between two or more consenting adults.
What happens between consenting adults that doesn't actually hurt someone is pretty much fine or okay. Just whatever. Yeah.
You know, like if you want to take a brutal spanking, like that's okay.
We've already reached this part of the conversation. Yes. Already.
For the record, I know we had Finn on last week, and I'm pretty sure it was her who warned us that this was going to happen whenever we had Galby on. So, it's already happened. How long are we in? Yeah, 15 minutes in. It's already
How long
happened.
does it usually take you guys?
I guess usually a little bit after the halfway point. Usually we get into whatever, except I guess in the beginning of the episode we went into some dark territory when Happy started talking about enslaved children. When we introduced Finn, it's like, you smell like a small child. Because like we went way over the deep end, like in the intro a little bit.
I suggested that we had a child slaveman camp where we.
Well, no, it was a workshop, so
yeah,
they get paid, but a terrible wage for menial labor, I assume.
And we took them onto the show and poised them as our friends.
Yeah.
So because we don't have any.
So I know I've told, since we were just talking about domestic violence, I know I've told Guy this, but I was watching Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and he did the segment about corporations using Twitter. And so I don't know what year it was that this hashtag was popular, but there was this hashtag floating around Twitter that was like hashtag why I stayed, hashtag why I left. And it was about domestic violence. And so like they'd so they'd say like, I wanted my daughter to have a father, hashtag why I stayed. And so, DiGiorno's, a pizza.
Oh, the most terrible.
Yeah, a pizza company decided to post on Twitter, "You had pizza, hashtag why I stayed."
That's the most terrible thing. I'm remembering that now.
I didn't know any of this existed.
Awful.
I didn't know any of this existed.
It was so bad. And since then, I have not even, like, looked at DiGiorno's and the frozen pizza section.
You sort of can't after that. It's
right?
Sort of like,
it's just, it's awful.
Yeah. Companies don't need to be in every single issue, especially if their response is going to be this terrible thing.
I mean, one, I don't think I've ever looked at a DiGiorno's box before I heard this.
Okay.
I mean, it might not be delivery, but let me tell you, it's still DiGiorno's.
And now we're endorsing them, apparently.
But this is an anti-endorsement.
Okay.
Boycott DiGiorno's if this isn't very clear.
Okay.
Second
Unless
of all,
if you buy DiGiorno's, you're for domestic violence.
I feel like that's maybe a bit too strong. One intern with an off day might not be reason to boycott DiGiorno's for like whatever. Like, I'm surely admonished, but whatever. I'm not sure if we want to come out on sure stances. Maybe our second comment will be, fuck you guys, I love DiGiorno. Which would be slightly better than our first comment. Our first comment was a bit encouraging, but a bit in the fact that it probably hey guys, this is great content.
Oh, hey, hold on. No. They didn't even say, hey guys, this is great content. Their specific words were, you should get more views. Check out this site. And then it had the site listed with each letter and then the space. So it's already sketchy.
Oh, so a broken link.
Yeah. So it's already sketchy. So they didn't even say that we had great content. They just wanted, our money.
Just wanted our money. So it's what it was specifically is that it was a site where you can buy likes and views. Was it also subscribers or just likes and views?
Yeah, it was subscribers too.
Subscribers, likes, and views. And I'm not sure we should be advertising this, but whatever. And
I mean, if you're the kind of person who wants to go for that, it's kind of sketchy.
It's kind of sketchy.
I followed the link to the website. I took out all the spaces because I'm a kid who grew up with computers and I know how to do that.
Oh yeah, just a tech whiz ready to hack the planet.
But
let's see, what is it like? It's the backspace button, right?
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's the technical term for it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't remember all the way. But
probably the cleanest way to do it would be to copy paste into Notepad, Control H spaces, and then take out all the spaces and put it back in instead of finding every individual space. But anyway,
see, there's the real computer whiz. Okay. The better way to do this is
I'm ready to hack the planet.
Oh man.
But anyway.
But yeah, I went on that website and I followed the link and I was just like, oh, I didn't even know this existed. It was kind of surreal because I don't know, it was just really strange and it was really cheap too. But
like it was very affordable.
Yeah, and
They probably like stole your credit card information. Let's be real. or
Probably.
something.
That's why.
But you could give them your PayPal instead, which doesn't have your credit card information.
But still has all of your money on it.
Well, not all of your money. You could go like, hey, here's this thing, and then whatever. I'm building in justifications of how you could safely use this, and how cheap it is, and how effective it probably could be. But I swear, you can look at our views right now.
Oh yeah,
and
we didn't buy anything.
and see we haven't used it.
I'm not wasting money on this channel.
Yeah, no. The last time I checked our last video, it had 5 views.
Oh really?
Yeah, but
That
that was a little while ago.
That was up from 2.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Our first video is doing okay, which is fine. It's at over 50 now, I think.
Yeah, it
which
is.
makes me feel a little happy. We're gonna have cheers and whatnot.
You know, I am a little happy.
Well, yes, you're literally a little happy. Hamster, that is. But yes, we're not talking about creepy DiGiorno hashtags or what else were we just talking about?
The website.
Website and
our
stealing
first comment.
Our first comment. We're talking about relationships and romantic stuff and why it's terrible, but we still do it anyway.
It's
So,
not
yeah.
terrible.
I mean, it's kind of.
I'm a hopeless
whatever.
romantic. Like, if someone were to show up at my door and be like, here are a dozen roses, follow me down this trail of rose petals, and, like, there'll be this, like, heart-shaped bed with, like, red satin sheets and, like, chocolates on the nightstands, I would be like, oh my god. You know, I mean, like, I tried it, like, but some people, like, don't like that, and, like, that's, going back to what I said earlier about the whole, like, coming on too strongly or like seeming not interested. Like sometimes I'll be all like, oh hey, like I know we just met like 2 weeks ago, but Valentine's Day.
I just met you,
and
and this is crazy.
but let me buy you like a box of chocolates.
Oh.
And it was awesome because I was asking this person because I was just like, because we had this agreement where like I had stated that I was like really bad at this, like the first month of a relationship.
The first,
That's
the
good to start
start
out
of
with.
relationships
Right.
are the worst.
So I was all like, hey, if I seem like I'm coming on too strong, just tell me and I'll back off. And if it's like, and if I seem disconnected, it's because I feel like I've been coming on too strong, so don't feel afraid to initiate the conversation. It's not that I'm not interested. But, like, I texted them, and I was like, hey, if I, like, did something romantic for Valentine's Day, like, would you be okay with that? I don't want to be specific because, like, I wanted it to be a surprise or whatever. And then they texted back and they're like, what do you mean? And I'm just like, what if I bought you chocolates? Like, how would you feel about that? And they're just all like, who would say no to free chocolates? I'm just all like,
That's true.
I'm just like, a keeper. They're a keeper. But yeah, I mean, like, what I wanted to do is I wanted to do like a little, like, you know, like a cute, like, coupon book where it's all like, free hugs, free kisses, like, yeah, this ticket allows you to win any argument, no matter the subject.
Oh, I wouldn't give that away. I would never give that away.
It's a nice gesture. I mean, it's small, so it's most likely that they'll lose it, like, in their car, but...
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So very sweet. But to answer their question, I would be the one to refuse free chocolates. I'm one of those people who doesn't actually like chocolate. And I recently found another one amongst our peers. I didn't think I would, but I have. So I'm not the only anomaly out there.
There's another person who doesn't
There's
like
another
chocolate?
person who does not like chocolates.
I mean, I'm sure they exist in the world.
Right.
It's
yeah,
not,
I
it's
mean,
not,
there's
it's not like
people who are
science just
allergic to
discovered that.
But
chocolates,
like, in relatively close proximity to, not like I was Googling people who don't like chocolate and found out,
And found there's a
Reese
guy,
Witherspoon hates dark chocolate or something like that. I don't know.
I love dark
I
Reese-
don't know.
Reese's Cup Witherspoon
Reese's
doesn't like
Cup
chocolate.
Witherspoon doesn't like.
Very strange.
Oh goodness! Just at the top of USA Today, shocking news.
No, it would be at the top of the Inquirer.
The
That'd
pun
be
isn't
fire.
true. The pun
That
isn't true.
Oi. But yeah, stuff to consider in general. So that seems nice. Galby getting into possibly a new relationship. Me getting into possibly a new relationship. Happy
Well, I mean,
doing whatever it is he
from-
does in the current relationship he's in.
Fondling doodads and whatnot.
Fondling doodads and whatnot.
For everybody who can't see what we're doing right now, the reason we're saying fondling doodads and whatnot is because I don't even know.
We're fondling, like,
yeah,
well,
they're
fondling.
we have our hands with the palms facing up, and we're wiggling our fingers back and forth.
We're fondling
fondling.
invisible fuzzy car dice. The
Yes.
one that you...
Oh, yeah.
They're
Yeah,
scented.
of course.
They're
Of course.
scented too. They smell like pine.
Oh.
And they increase your chances of
But not new car. 'Cause new
having a
smells
car
good.
that smells like pine. That's what they do.
Or the whole new or relatively new thing of black ice. What scent is that?
Black ice.
Black ice?
Is that
Black-
an
that's a
actual
scent?
scent?
That's a scent, yeah. Black ice. What does black ice smell like? Fear?
Invisibility.
Yeah. It's
Black
not
ice.
there at all.
I
Do
know.
you know what black ice is?
Well, I know what black ice is in general. I didn't know it was a scent.
Ah,
Yeah,
but
so
they're-
like black ice is like that when that weird phenomenon happens that like ice freezes over the road and it's
And
like
it's just...
so like the ice
Yeah.
itself is so pure that you can't see it. You just see
Yeah.
the road. You see the black road underneath, hence the name black ice. And so it's very dangerous because you can't see it, and then you run over it with your car, and then your car flips over, and you die.
Oh.
But
I'm usually walking over it and trying to slide
Oh
like
my
I'm
God.
skating, but there hasn't been enough for me to like slide and more lazily get
Let's
around.
let's bring you to an ice rink. How about that?
Oh, that
won't-
probably would not be the best.
Yeah, you need skates.
I would need. Oh, but I'm not the best skater there is.
I
Which
can
is-
show off my 6 skater moves.
Oh.
My favorite move is called falling.
Oh yeah, falling is the great. I'm pretty good at that one too.
That's the only one I could do.
Oh okay.
I won
Never
the
got past that.
Just
I
a
won the
falling
Olympic-
enthusiast.
I won the Olympic gold for falling
That's good.
in 2014.
Oh,
Yeah.
were the 2014 Olympics? Oh yeah, they were Winter Olympics. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sochi.
Yeah.
Never
Sochi,
forget
Russia.
When are-
America's victory.
When are the next Winter Olympics? 2018?
I believe so.
Yeah.
That was
I can't wait. I love Winter Olympics.
Can't wait
so
for
much.
curling.
Yeah, because
Dude, I love curling so much.
Oh my god.
It's the best.
I don't
it's
care
so
about
awesome.
anything else, just that. And
I
nothing
like
else.
curling, but I like curling when it's in a cartoon and you see like a giraffe with like using a snake as its arm, like this.
It's just like, just sweeping and stuff. It's just like, who even made up the sport? And
I mean, the Scottish.
and,
Definitely the
and
Scottish.
why are animals playing it? But it's like it's so adorable because it's just like yeah.
it's just sort
And
of
they
a-
use turtles as.
What cartoons are you watching?
I think
This
I know
is,
what movie.
The
it was
Wild, yeah.
yeah, I think I saw that movie.
Where like the dad's all like, or the dad Papa line's like, I was raised in the wild when I was captured. Hear me roar, and the son was like, my dad's awesome. Hear me roar. Meow.
Isn't the Wild like a weird discount version of Madagascar mixed with
Kinda.
the Lion King a little bit?
Kinda.
Okay.
And then yeah, and then like the little kid like gets sent to the wild for whatever reason. And then the dad's all like, I never was from the wild.
oh yeah,
I was a
that-
circus
I
animal.
remember it now.
And it was like, oh, and then he uses like his circus acrobatics to save them. So, and that movie was before the third Madagascar with the circus thing. So maybe
But
the
after
third
the first and second.
right? So maybe the third Madagascar with the circus thing was just a ripoff of the
Well,
wild.
they were probably producing it while that one came out, so I don't think they would have known about it that much in advance to have copied it. So I'm pretty sure.
So
Whatever.
it was probably simultaneous.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah. Oi. Reconciliation between lion father and son. Very important thing to recognize on Singles Awareness Day.
Explain to me why.
like, yeah, let's not talk about father relationships right now. I don't think that would be the
Oh,
best idea.
Maybe not. Maybe another episode. Maybe a sort of topic on a more serious note. But yes,
Father relationship.
father relationships. Ugh.
I'll come back for that episode and I'll break everyone's heart.
Oh goodness. Yes, you will.
I'll,
But anyway.
I'll come back on that episode and bore everybody to death because my relationship with my father was just fine.
And then
No
it took
problem.
me to Chuck E. Cheese and we had an amazing time.
Actually, my father loved me, so he never took me to Chuck E. Cheese.
True.
What? But Chuck
Actually,
E. Cheese is cool.
He might have. I think he did once or twice. but-
I was that kid at Chuck E. Cheese where I didn't want any of the game to play any of the games because they only split out 2 tickets, and I would go play that game where like you would shoot your coin,
Your coin.
not my corn, your coin into like your little like Chuck E. Cheese tokens into like a hole. Like you try to aim it and shoot it into a hole, and each hole was like marked with a number, and like that would depend on how many tickets would you get? And after like
Yeah.
doing it, having it done 10 times, I like had it done perfectly. So I would go in there with 10 tokens and get 800 tickets. And just be all like, I want like 1,000,000 pieces of candy.
Yeah, that's the only way to approach those type of games.
Mm-hmm.
Like at Dave and Buster's, what I'll do now, the only games I enjoyed,
I've
unfortunately...
only been there once.
Yeah, the only games I've enjoyed are basically racing games and I guess fighting games, which are ones that don't give you tickets. So I set a certain amount for those to actually have fun, and then I set an amount for another coin thing so I can game the system and get as many tickets as possible. So it's still a sort of economic endeavor.
I've never been to Dave & Buster's, but I so want to.
It's like Chuck E. Cheese for adults. Like
Exactly,
It would
yeah.
be a good dating location to go
Probs
to Dave and Buster's
not.
and have fun.
Oh, maybe. I
I
could
mean,
see
I
it.
could
wouldn't it?
totally imagine like you're dating like, I want that thing that's 10,000 tickets.
Well, you
And
don't
then
have
you're
to...
all like, pride takes over. I must win that.
I mean,
10,000
if you're
ticket
dating
prize.
like a gold digger, sure. If they're like, I'm dating you for the prize. Get me the thing that has 10,000 tickets now. And
I
then
mean,
you're like,
I like honestly, I'm sure you could just walk up to them and be all like, "Hey, if I give you $40,
can I just buy this with actual money like an adult? Could
But I
this
need-
happen?
But I need you to act like I got a whole
A
bunch of tickets.
Could I just buy a whole bunch of tickets off of
Yeah,
you right
like,
now?
I'm totally like the sappy romantic. Like if I were on a date and like we went to a carnival, I'd totally be all like, "I'm gonna win a stuffed animal for you,"
Oh.
even though like we're adults. And you may, I know there's adults with stuffed animals, but like even I'll admit I have stuffed animals. I don't sleep with them; they're like in my closet.
Oh.
I don't have the heart to get rid of them, but like I'm too old to sleep with them. Like, and that's
Oh,
not
you're-
even like
you're never too old.
Well, I know,
You're
but
never
that's
too
not
old.
like a societal pressure or anything. It's just that like they're these like tiny little stuffed dogs, and I'm just all like I'm too big to cuddle with them anymore, and like I don't want to throw them out because they have a lot of sentimental value. And maybe one day I'll give them to my kids and be like, this was like my safety like blanket when I was a kid. But like I don't have the heart to throw them out. But yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. But yeah.
Actually, I have a funny story about winning prizes. When I was in 8th grade, I have since decided to completely forego going to carnivals because every instance I've had with them in the past, I want to say like 3 times, have been horrible.
Oh.
And I've always been forced to go, and so I just decided, no, I'm not gonna do
Were
this
there
anymore.
clowns?
There weren't. That's
Oh, okay.
not, like, it wasn't even
Maybe
like
that was the problem. There weren't
That
enough
there were
clowns.
clowns? Oh, yeah. Yeah,
There
that's
were
all-
no horrifying, soul-eating monsters with paint on their face.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's always a problem. But no, I went with, it might have been 6th grade. I was young, and I was dating a girl.
Of
and,
course.
And we went
Well,
to a
that doesn't
carnival.
count. 6th grade? That
Yeah.
doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Dating. We held hands for a little bit longer and giggled awkwardly because we don't know what puberty is yet.
Well, I mean,
Well,
some
we did
people
more
go like
than that.
I started going through puberty in 6th grade. I mean, and it like, and it's like it's cute. I mean, like it doesn't like. I mean, there are people. I'm trying to find the right words. I mean, there are like kindergartners who are like, you're my boyfriend now. And like a little girl will just like go up to a boy and be like, I like you, you're my boyfriend. Like they have no like idea what that means.
Yeah.
But it's all like, but like everyone who looks at them is like, oh, that's cute, they're dating.
Oh wait, this reminds me of a story that's so terrible, but it made me laugh so much. Okay, one of my friends told me the story. I'm not going to say who in particular because she said that before she prefaced this, she said, I'm going to tell the story, but this is going to make me seem like a terrible person for enjoying it. So apparently, she knew these 2 kids. One of them was a boy and one of them was a girl. And this boy was like so sweet and he had this crush on this other girl. This is like kindergarten or 1st grade. I think it's 1st grade, I believe. But anyway, really, really young, short little munchkin children. So the little boy, who's like really, really sweet, goes out and picks some dandelions and some bright colored flowers and weeds, and then he comes up to the girl that he likes and gets down on one knee and says, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?" And she responds by kicking the shit out of his little head.
Oh!
And he lost some teeth.
Oh my god! No!
It's just... Oh, the most...
Was she that girl?
Yeah.
Is that what...
Yeah.
Man.
Well, no, it wasn't her. At
Okay.
least I don't think it was her.
Oh, it totally was.
It
totally was.
You need to
I'm not
ask her,
thinking-
like, how she knows that story. Like,
Well,
dig a little deeper.
Well, I
like-
mean, I'm assuming it was just on the playground, and I'm pretty sure everyone saw that kid that just got kicked in the face, which is terrible. I'm trying to think of how that kid, now grown up, like around the age we are, just like one of us walking around with that being one of his formed experiences about romantic love, is that if you try earnestly and with all your heart and being and soul and whatever, you can expect to get kicked in the face by your object of desire.
And you know what's funny is
What?
that you just know all throughout school
Oh,
he
yeah.
was known as the kid who got kicked in the face because he
Well,
asked the girl
unless
out.
if he changed schools.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's the only option.
Yeah. That's
well,
the only way
and,
you can do it.
and like sometimes, it's that is pretty humiliating and pretty awful. But like he probably got like hella sympathy points with people.
Yeah,
like, could
that's
you
true.
imagine like going up to someone you're attracted to and be like, "I want to ask you out, but the last time I did it, I got down on one knee and I had flowers and I asked her if she wanted to be my girlfriend and she kicked me in the head." And then if someone did that to me, if someone came up to me and told me that story, I'd just be like, "Oh my god, like, let's go to dinner right now."
I feel as if that's a bit idealistic, because I would be thinking, well, one, if this happened such a long time ago and they're still bringing it up, I'm like, you're not exactly over this thing that happened in your childhood, aren't you? How is this manifested in sort of not the best kind of ways? And if it had happened more recently, like they're an adult and they got kicked in the face, I'd be sort of, what did you do to incur this? So I would much less be, oh, that's sweet, and like, why did this happen? But
yeah, but I know people, like, I'm sure, have you guys seen Friends?
Friends, yeah.
Friends? Like, there's that one episode where the guy's like, ever since I divorced my wife, I haven't had sex. How long has it been? 2 years. And
Oh,
she's
yeah, the
like,
one
I brought
guy.
sex back into his life. And he's
Right.
like, that's a pickup line.
And
It's such a good pickup line. It's
Yeah.
that, it's like at the end, like, even if it was like, oh my god, like, this happened to you when you were 5 and you're not over it, I'd be like, why are you not over it? And if they were just like, well, actually, I'm just using it as a pickup line, I'd be like, that's a damn good pickup line.
that'd still be kind of weird.
Let's still go to dinner.
That'd also be oddly specific, and I think the way I'd respond to it is like, oh my goodness, you're that shit-eating kid? I feel so sorry for you, but that's hilarious.
You're that guy?
You're that guy? Oh my
hey,
goodness.
Get over here! It's that guy!
It's that guy! It's that kid!
Hey,
Oi.
can you smile? Oh, look at that, he's missing teeth!
Well, I'm sure at that age,
at
you're
that
like
age,
baby
he
teeth,
probably
yeah.
grew in his adult teeth.
And then, like,
Probably.
even then, I would be, I was that kid's parent, and they were, like, adult teeth, I'd be, like, put in, like, the fake teeth, and, like, I would put down hella money to be, this little girl just beat the shit out of my son, and he has his adult teeth fall out, like, he needs new teeth to make him look amazing, like... I would be like, that girl's gonna regret ever, like, turning you down. I'm gonna turn you into, like, the most amazing, attractive man that, like, every girl and every gay guy and every, like, androsexual person in that school is gonna be pining after you. And then she's gonna come up to you. It's gonna be like one of those, like, romantic comedy movies or whatever, where she's gonna come up to you and be like, hey, like, I was stupid. Let's do this. And you're just gonna be all like, no.
And then you're gonna kick her in the face.
It's like, payback after all of these years, finally achieved. You know what would also be kind of cute in a romantic comedy kind of way? If they ended up together after that, after she kicked him in the face, because
Right,
that
and-
didn't discourage him. That just showed him that she is an assertive woman who
Right.
doesn't need a man at like 7 years old or whatever.
And-
No,
all-
I think it shows that she just wanted to kick the kid in the face.
That's true.
I don't think there's anything beyond
I'm
that.
like,
Yeah.
what could have possibly been running through her head? Like, that's, like, what I'm trying to figure out, because, like, who thinks, oh, this boy is so sweet. Like, I'm gonna kick him in the face until his teeth fall
I mean,
out.
that's a little bit too much rationalization for like an 8-year-old.
Well, I mean, I thought kindergarten at 8 years old.
I like first year.
Like,
first,
so like,
first grader?
so 6, 7, yeah.
Yeah,
So
6,
like,
7 is kindergarten.
developmentally, like,
6,
they're
7.
still like in that, like, I'm gonna follow the rules blindly mode. Right before they get into that, like, they start questioning the rules. But, like, I wouldn't expect that amount of violence from someone until, like, 9 or until
Hey,
they were, like,
most
9.
children don't grow up as army brats, so I don't get the whole
Well-
follow orders like kids.
No, I mean, like,
are disobedient.
like,
usually.
developmentally, little kids, like, want to impress adults, and they want to make their parents happy, and so they follow rules blindly. That's part of their developmental psychology. And so, but, like, as they get older, they start to question things, and, like, that's why in preteen years, they have, like, that whole, like, I want to be an adult, like, let me go do this, I'm my own independent person. And at that point, you're supposed to acknowledge it and give them some more responsibility, but, like, you don't give them alcohol and a lesson. But, like, and so it just is, like, I'm trying to, cause, like, I work with kids, like, I'm an employee at a youth programs back at home, and so, like, there are some kids that are violent, but they're, like, 9 and 10 years old, and it's, like, this is becoming a problem. Because like as a government funded program, we can't exclude people unless it's like an extreme circumstance, in which case we have to get like the base head involved, and it's like this huge thing. But
okay,
That's
But yeah,
incredibly
that's just-
interesting.
yeah, I mean, like I had to read these modules as part of my job, and like part of it was individual development, and went through all this stuff, and I was like, what could have been like going through this little child's head as she brutally kicked the teeth out of this little boy who just like proposed to her.
I think she liked him and didn't know how to deal with it.
That's true.
Yeah,
That makes
that's
sense.
another thing. It's all like
That's
I
exactly
mean, we've
what it
all
was.
had those things where like we go home to our parents and it was like, this girl was picking on me, and your mom was like, it's because she likes you and doesn't know how to express it. But I don't like bullcrap.
You
Like,
got kicked in the face. Is this what I'm supposed to expect from women in general from now on? That's
right?
a terrible.
Well, like,
racist.
I would buy that if like he had the flowers and like on his knee, and he was like, "Be my girlfriend," and she was like, "No," like, and she like paused and like started freaking out, slapped the flowers out of his hand, and then ran away. But like kicking him multiple times.
Well, I think it was
just
one.
once.
I think it was
Yeah.
Oh,
the
just
way it
one
was
kick?
described to
Okay.
me was one solid kick to the teeth. So I wonder.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually going to be Rush's new album. One
One
solid kick to the teeth. Yeah,
Of course.
it's gonna be a punk album.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad I haven't had a rejection that bad. There hasn't been violence incurred upon me for trying to put myself out there yet. But
Yeah.
yet. I don't know, there's still a lot of life left for me to, I don't know, get rejected in such a horrifying way. Though it would probably be a whole lot worse as an adult to ask someone out and then be assaulted than as a child, and children don't know anything than to be.
Well, and it also depends on how you look at it,
Yeah.
because like, especially in like getting all political here, but like especially in today's like hegemonic society and stuff,
Yeah.
like. If you went to go ask a woman to be your girlfriend and she kicked you in the face, I mean, like that's like that would, like you would feel very demasculated, which is bullcrap, but like, and so that would like affect you psychology, and then like you might become more aggressive because of it, and so it's just like it would be like this kind of vicious cycle where it's like, because she kicked you in your teeth, you're gonna like take it out on someone else.
Are we talking about adults?
Yes.
Yes.
I think I would really just be frightened as to why I was ever attracted to her.
Right. I mean,
Because
like
someone
there
kicking me in
are
the
people
face.
who are
Or
like,
maybe
oh,
you'd realize why you were attracted to her.
yeah.
Because she's
Oh, boy.
fully irrational.
I mean, like, and
Maybe you're attracted to power.
No, that's being irrational. That's not power.
yeah.
Reminds me of, I forget what the show is called. What is it called? Oh, Baggage. You know Baggage? That
Oh,
like
man.
crappy show
Yeah.
where they bring on like the worst people or tokenizations or stereotypes on to try and find love, basically. Well, I don't know. There was this one guy, and one of his things is that he had a secret crush, not a not so secret crush on Oprah Winfrey, and no one thought of it as weird. It's like, oh, he's attracted to power. Yeah, that makes sense. Just sort of automatic conclusion. Nothing confusing about that.
Have you seen the new show Grandfathered?
No.
There's a scene with Drake Bell and like Josh Peck is like the father,
Oh.
and so Drake is all like, "You remind me of my brother," and he's like, "Was he awesome?" And he's like, "No, he went to jail for stalking Oprah." it's just it's so perfect. It's because like. And if you don't understand why that's perfect,
Watch all of Drake and Josh. Go find it on some illicit streaming site or on Nickelodeon if they have it streaming. So
I don't know if they have it anymore.
I don't know, but either way, you need to see that because
see it.
that's pretty funny. I didn't know they were doing another show together.
Well, I don't know if like Drake Bell was just a guest star on it, but I know Josh Peck is like one of the stars. Like it's Josh Peck. I don't know who the other guy is, but he's some apparently like really famous hot actor guy, and I'm like, I don't know who he is, but like he's older, like he's supposed to be the grandfather, and then like you have and then you have the little daughter, the little baby girl, which is like
that's just good though. That's perfect. There's no better way they could have done that.
Yeah, basically. But yeah,
I never actually finished my story. This has been a 10-minute. 20-minute tangent after I
I don't know if I wasn't paying attention, but like, what was the beginning of your story?
I was talking about how I never go to carnivals.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
or lack thereof.
I never go to carnivals, but this one time, either 6th or 8th grade, I think it was 6th grade actually. I was dating this girl, and we went to a carnival, and I'm hilariously bad at sports.
Okay.
But
for a second I thought you were going to say hilarious, and I was going to correct you.
But there's this booth where you could shoot a basket, and you get however many in, you win a prize. And so I thought, I was thinking, well, this is the stereotypical thing to do. I might as well do it. I was like, I'm going to win you that thing. It's like some sort of big stuffed animal or something.
Oh.
Why is it always a stuffed animal?
Because
they're better prices.
They're cheap.
They're better prices.
They're really crappy products. Like,
yeah.
It's true.
Like, I mean, I went to carnivals and I've won stuffed animals, and I've gotten in the car and like the head will literally just like fall off because of how like poorly it's made.
Better that it happens to a stuffed animal than a goldfish. Because you can win those at carnivals too.
Yeah.
Well, then you'll just have dinner.
Very measly one.
Very tiny, just a French dinner. You dress it up nicely.
Right.
But yeah, I step up to the thing, I get a basketball, I'm standing there, and it's dark out, so I shoot, and the ball goes straight up, hits the light that's like keeping everything bright because it's dark out, hits the light, and the thing kind of like shakes a little bit, and then the ball just falls back down, and I look up, and I just think, not gonna happen, I shouldn't have started. I wasted like $5 on this. And then I'm pretty sure, I might be making this up in my head, but I'm pretty sure that I gave her a shot and she did it perfectly. And so she won herself a prize.
That's the way to do it, though.
Yep.
There we go.
Just let them do it themselves.
It's like, oh, there you go.
Like have
You
someone
can
win
do
you a
it.
prize and you're like, but I don't want a giant pink elephant. Like, what would make you think I would like this?
Now, giant green elephant.
Right?
That'd be something different. But you got me the pink one. You know what? That's sexist. I'm a girl and you just got me a pink elephant. And then that would be that kind of person.
And then there's an argument. And then you display how well you can communicate full circle.
And and then you live a happy life.
Right.
Yeah.
The end. Bye.
Bye.
That's it. We're done.
I want to get into one of my rejection stories because I also think it's very entertaining.
Okay.
I think we should take
and then I'll either share the Nebraska story or the pillow story.
Oh, okay. Either or both.
I want to take a vote on this.
Okay.
Do we want to hear Sebastian's rejection story?
It's one of the...
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ah, man.
And it's one of the non-proposition rejection stories. So
yeah, this will be good.
Okay,
because these boggle my mind.
Okay, so
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, one of the times, what happened is that I have this one friend No. I want to know. Should I say his name? Let's describe an animal to him. Let's say. No, Badger. So let's have this guy. We're just gonna call him Badger for a reason. Honey Badger or Honey, just Badger.
Badger. I like Badger.
Badger. Okay, so I have this friend who I'm calling Badger. And so Badger knows this other girl, or had this class with this other girl, and she's complaining at the end of this class that she doesn't have a boyfriend, and that she's single, and she's looking for a guy that's sort of analytical and smart and handsome. And so Badger, being the best Badger a Badger could possibly be, badgers her a little bit and thinks of me, but does it in a little bit of a way, in the fact that he goes, oh, I know the perfect guy. And he doesn't bring up a picture of me first. He brings up a picture of one of our other friends who isn't as attractive, which honestly is all of our other friends. But I digress.
You pretentious dick.
What? It's fine. It's okay.
No,
everything's all right.
We're
all smiles here. But anyway, so first he shows her a picture of this particular friend, and then she sort of laughs it off and sort of like, come on, be serious. And he goes, okay, and then shows her a picture of me, and then she apparently laughs even harder and says, haha, I said someone attractive. It's sort of the worst, but I can't repeat that in my head without laughing, because that's hysterical.
I mean, it is what the old saying or whatever it goes. It's all like, we're gonna be laughing about this later. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's like one of those things.
I laughed about it immediately upon hearing what happened. It almost didn't bring me any malice at all, because one, it's one person I wasn't even considering, so it's sort of like, oh, I guess I know that this wouldn't happen, even though I didn't want it to. But okay. And then I guess the other one I'll say, just because it's a lot shorter, is that we were having a conversation with one of our other friends. Galby was there, and one of my other friends. I don't know how we came onto this topic, but at some point Galby was like, yeah, you and Owl, you guys should date. And then her reaction, actually, Happy, were you there too?
I think
yeah, you're there too. So they are both witnesses to this. And so he just, Galby suggests, it's like, oh, you guys should date. And her reaction was as if he asked her, hey, you want to stick some hot coals up your asshole?
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh.
And so her reaction was like, oh, God, no, why? And I'm sort of like, oh, is something wrong? What?
And this has happened more than once.
Yes.
And I don't understand.
I mean, like her logic was pretty sound though. Like, I mean, her reaction was could have still been better.
It still have been better. I was a bit annoyed by the need for explanation, because the way I see it, relationships are just how you feel. So
there was a need for explanation.
There was not a need for there wasn't a need for there wasn't a need for the reaction, but there wasn't a need for an in-depth analytical explanation of why she didn't want to date me. Because
I mean, but it
wasn't an issue on the table. I wasn't like flirting with her or otherwise propositioning her. So what could have sufficed was, we're friends, which was the status quo. So it's sort of like, there doesn't need to be this built-in justification for this entire thing.
For that. If she just said,
it's just we're friends. So
we're
it's
friends. That's never going to happen. But she was vehement about it. She was angry that you brought it up.
Yeah.
You put the idea in her head.
From what I remember, her reasoning is that like you two were too much of the same person, and that she would like grow to hate that.
Oh, yeah. I'm not entirely sure how sound that exactly is.
Like, it's all like, you're too much like me that I would end up hating you.
That's like, it just doesn't, I'm just sort of like, oh, whatever that means. I'm fine with, we're just friends, and that's how it is, and that's cool, because that's sort of how I feel too. So it's sort of like, why is this extra justification needed? You don't need it. It's fine if you just don't like me that way. You don't need to, like, react as if someone's about to do something terrible to you. But whatever. So yeah, that's been my dating career up until relatively recently. So I hope those kinds of terrible things are behind me. Unless, well, actually, never mind. I was about to say unless I get kicked in the face, which would be very funny, but that would be very painful. So I guess I wouldn't be able to grow adult teeth to replace that.
I would kind of like it.
Okay.
I would want to see it maybe a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, there's online porn for that, so have fun.
If you can find me online kicking in the face porn, I'll give you a prize.
Well,
I'll give you a great
Does
prize.
trampling count when like the person's laid out and the other person's walking on them?
No, I want someone kicked in the teeth.
Okay.
Oh, well, there's cake farts, so anything exists, really.
Right.
I am sorry to anyone who has Googled what I had just said. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't
do it.
ever Google anything.
Don't
he
do it.
says.
I want to say sorry to authority figures for mentioning that. I want to say sorry to my parents. My dad listens to this. Dad, don't look it up.
Your dad listens to this?
Yes, he does.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, hello, Mr. Owl.
Mr.
Guy.
Mr. Guy.
Mr. Owl. He's Mr. Owl. Okay.
Mr. Owl.
Also,
Yeah.
how many licks does it take to get to the center of a
I think
body?
someone actually did that, and it's like 276 or something.
A friend of mine's sister a friend of mine in high school, her sister, who was not in high school, did a third grade science experiment where she did that, and it's somewhere around like 300 or 200, yeah.
Aw.
So there you go. That's how many licks it takes, Mr. Owl. Now you can tell everybody that.
Instead of being that like rude owl and just being like, how many licks does it take? 1.
That was secret information
Two,
for thousands of years.
3,
Now
crunch.
exposed. We're gonna
Three.
have to edit this part out. We can't have this information going
Right.
out to the masses.
Like the government's gonna come and like.
No, not the government. The owls.
The owl government?
No, just the owls.
Okay, so which one should I tell first? The pillow story or the Nebraska story?
I don't know either one of these by their names.
I will
Okay.
say Pillow because I recently listened to Zayn Malik. Is that his name? He broke off from One Direction. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I like his music. He has a song called Pillow Talk. I don't like One Direction, but I like Zayn. He's okay. He's cool. What?
I'm glad we all...
Well, in
God,
that
I'm
case,
looking-
oh, okay. How about this? I'll go chronologically. So,
Okay.
like
That makes sense.
the Nebraska story happened first.
Oh, okay.
So last year I was dating this person, and we had been dating for about 6 months. Like we met in October, we started dating in November, and like I went home over break, so I didn't see them for a month. But then like I came back and everything was fine. Like January, February, March, April. However, when May hit, right? That's the correct order of the months.
Yeah.
March, April, May.
May, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I'm so bad at that. So when May hit, they start like it was back when I didn't have a car, but they did. So I would text them and be like, "Hey, like, do you want to come over? Let me like take you out to dinner, you know." And they would say, "Oh, I'm having car troubles, or I'm working the late shift. I can't come over. You know, I'm too tired." And so after like, because it's happened in the past before where they wouldn't be able to come over like for a week or something because of that, but this continued on for about 3 weeks, and so I was like, oh, are they not interested? And I'm not just getting the hint because I'm bad at that as well. Adding to the list of the many things I'm bad at. But then like about 3 weeks into this, I ask them like, hey, do you want to come over tonight? And they respond, I can't. I moved to Nebraska a month ago. And I was all like, well, obviously this relationship is over.
Yeah.
A month ago?
A month ago.
Why would they not tell you?
I have no idea.
A moon has passed,
Right.
and they are
A
gone.
moon has passed since I was in Wisconsin.
Wow. I hadn't heard that before.
But yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's never happened to me.
And so I was just like, I knew they were moving to Nebraska, but I thought it was over the summer. And then I guess they just went down there earlier than they expected and didn't tell me.
Yeah, just a little bit of a dick.
Maybe.
Just a little bit. That's
Maybe.
that's a phallic move right there.
Okay. And then the pillow story happened recently. This happened back in January.
Okay, pillow
So
talk.
just this January. So I was dating this other person, and I guess I have a thing for meeting people in October. We met in October. We started dating in November.
That's a nice season, fall, and
Right.
pumpkins
It
and
is.
stuff.
Right, yeah.
October is the best month.
Yeah, it's like
It's when I
getting
was
chill.
born, so of course it's the best month.
Yeah, me too.
It's
Oh, yeah.
getting chill. It's
Yeah.
getting chilly, so it's like perfect cuddle weather, but it's not like too cold and dry where you're like, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah.
But and so like it was really sweet because like I had to fly in from back home, and so Like, I got in at the airport at like 1 a.m. and like we had arranged that they would meet me back here on campus, and they would spend the night, and so nothing happened. I didn't get lucky, unfortunately. But that's not the point of the story.
Okay.
So I mean, it was really sweet. They drove down there at like 2 a.m. in the morning to spend the night with me, and then in the morning when we woke up, I asked them like, "Oh, how'd you sleep?" And they were like, "Oh, not that well. I should have brought my own pillow. I'm really picky, like what I put my head on at night." No, but and so I was really sweet because I'm like actually a very decent guy, and I was like, "Let's go to Kmart, right? Kmart, that's what we have here in town.
Yeah.
Kmart, and I'll buy you a pillow, and I'll just keep it at my place. So when you come spend the night, we'll just have a pillow here."
Cool.
And so we go to Kmart, they pick out a pillow, and then I pick out a pillow for the hell of it, because like the pillows I have are like really crappy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, new pillows, yay. And then we get back and they spend the night again. Wake up in the morning, I was like, how'd you sleep? They were like, a lot better, thanks for the pillow. And then I had to go do some training for my job, and then I come back during my lunch break and see them, and I'm like, they're just like chilling in my room, not doing anything, like watching TV, playing on their laptop, even though they should have been doing homework, because they told me that they needed to do homework. I didn't. Still not the point of the story. Like, so I walk in, and they turn to me and say, "I don't think this is gonna work out. Like, I don't feel the same way that I used to feel about you, but can I keep the pillow?" And it's just like, oh my god. And like, I so bad wanted to just be all like, get the fuck out of my room.
Give me that goddamn pillow.
Like, no.
Yeah. No, you're not keeping the pillow. I'm keeping the pillow.
Get out of my room. But I was all like, yeah, go ahead. And I was like, I gotta get back to training. Just text me when you leave.
Oh, and then he did, or
yeah,
he didn't leave for like.
They stayed in my room for like about another 4 hours.
Yeah, which
and
is
then,
really
like,
weird.
And then like texted me like at 4:30, being like, "Hey, I'm just leaving now." And I'm all like, "So you sat in my room, like we broke up, and then you sat in my room for 4 hours by yourself, like just."
That would make me so uncomfortable.
Maybe he's spending that time doing his homework.
Maybe. One can hope.
I would never be able to go back into my room, because all I would think would be, what did they do? What did they do that took them 4 hours after we broke up?
No, like, I walked in there, like, fully, because, like, they drove a truck, so I, like, walked in there fully expecting, like, my TV to be missing. So I was like, shh, I was like, crap! Like, and I walked in and I was like, okay, nothing looks like it's been stolen.
Okay, well,
I mean, I haven't looked at my purse.
Honesty is important, I guess, in that case. I'd say, in my experience, I would have appreciated a lot more honesty instead of explanation or sort of sugarfooting it and trying to get around the issue to be more, I guess, more amicable or more being let down easy. I'd rather it be very clear to me than to be let down easy. Which reminds me of one of my other rejections that I've had. This one was actually from a proposition. We're good friends now, so it's okay and it's all fine. But there was this one point in time when I was really into this person. She was really great. Well, she's still really great, but she was really great in a romantic sort of sense. And I thought I was being really obvious and flirting with her and talking with her more and hanging out with her more alone. And then when I actually finally had the courage to ask her out, which is the shortest time I've ever decided. Actually, I guess it ties with another time I decided to ask someone to... Oh, I guess that does tie. Okay, so I decided that I was going to ask them out in sort of a 2-week span and getting the courage to do so. And I'm realizing the most recent thing, I don't want to say relationship yet, since technically that's not what it is. The thing I'm trying to start up now, technically, was a decision made over a 2-week period of time, so maybe that's just my good gestation period?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I asked her out, and she is a lesbian in a committed relationship, which is great, but kind of
Not for you.
not for me in many ways. So it wasn't exactly the best. And what's funny is that I wasn't the only one that was infatuated with this person at a certain point. Happy also was infatuated with this person.
Yeah.
And
You courted Scotland?
courted. Yes.
Yeah.
That's her name.
It's Scotland. Scotland, apparently.
Yeah, except I was a lot more obvious about it because that's my strong suit, not being subtle.
Yeah.
And I was flirting with her, and this might actually be a nice time to talk about advice for freshmen in college.
Oh, yeah.
But I was flirting with her, and she sends me this text that just says, "You know I have a girlfriend, right?" And at that moment I was thinking, well, that's all over.
Backpedal.
That's gonna make backpedal.
That looks true.
But
I mean, like, I always have to constantly check myself because I'll be flirting. I flirt with everyone, like.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'll constantly, like, be flirting with my friends and, like, something like you have to watch out because the ones that I don't say this to them, that might be the ones that, like, I'm, like, trying to, like, go after. But, like, I'll be all, like, it's like, I'm flirting with you platonically. So you get me like, yeah, I'm just flirting with you to flirt. Like, I flirt with everyone. Like, you should have, like, backpedaled.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But
What's... I don't know. I don't remember quite what it is. I remember just feeling like, well, that's never going to go anywhere, and then just kind of leaving it at that. But
did you even respond?
Oh, yeah, I did. We're still friends.
Okay.
But what's funny is that I think something like the next day or the day after that, I was talking to another friend, a mutual friend of Guy's and I, and he was saying, we were talking about girls, and he was saying, oh yeah, Guy really, he's got the hots for this one girl, and
For Scotland.
Yeah, for Scotland, and I remember the horror just coming across my face, thinking, I need to stop him.
And
so
why didn't you?
We decided we were going to that day. But
you were too late.
Guy got to her before we got to Guy. But it was hilarious. But now we're all really good friends.
We're all good friends, and that's good, and whatever.
Yeah.
And I can have a bit of satisfaction that she sort of texted you no, and I sort of got this response that was sort of like, it was kind of hated at first because it was sort of like, oh, I really appreciate the gesture, and what I got was a sort of, oh, I don't. No, maybe let's see. I just got here. Maybe it won't work out on it. Like, and I was sort of like, what? And I sort of came up to Scotland afterwards. It was sort of like, you need to make it very clear that you're in a happy relationship because I don't need my hopes up. And that was made clear, and that was great, and that was good. After that,
I mean, I honestly like I hate when like I'll be like at the bar back home, and like I'll go there and I'll see this really cute guy, and I'll go flirt with him, and they'll be like, I'm not gay, but, like, I really appreciate it. I feel really flattered by this. Yeah. And I'm just all like, why do you think saying, like, I appreciate that you're trying to, like, make the situation less awkward. But it's like, let's not talk about the fact that I just, like, made a fool out of myself. Like, you could have, like, instead of being like...
I wouldn't say you made a fool out of it. Well, it depends on how it was.
I know...
I got was a possible, like, hey, maybe in a little while, like a little sliver.
maybe after a few drinks.
Maybe we could form the United Kingdom or whatever. Is that what it's called? Scotland and England?
Yeah.
Yeah, the United Kingdom.
Why would I want to form a United Kingdom?
What are you talking about? Scotland?
What are you talking about?
England? Well, that's the thing. Am I geographing wrong?
No, you are, but it's confusing because we named someone Scotland.
Oh, that's true, because we named someone England, because the union between England
like
and the United Kingdom.
Wales, England.
Oh, so I guess that would technically be a polyamorous relationship as opposed to...
Which is,
Yeah.
I mean, but like...
Where did this even go to?
Well, anyway.
I'm so confused.
Because of the country nomenclature. It's a pun. It's a pun, Happy.
I want to know in the comments how many people understood the pun, because I'm willing to bet a lot of money that it's close to none.
How much money is a lot of money?
I will bet you $1,000.
I will bet you whatever 15,000 likes is worth.
How much is that worth?
I don't know.
I actually had rates set written down, and I think 5. Oh, how much was it? I want to say 1,000 views was something like $15, so it was affordable. But anyway, go with what you're gonna say.
I mean,
before-
like, I know I probably didn't make a fool out of myself, but I feel that way.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's all like, instead of being like, oh, I'm flattered by like even though like it's not gonna happen, like I'm flattered that I'd rather you just be all like, oh, sorry, like I'm not gay, but thanks. Like, how are you enjoying the bar? Like, do you want? Can I get you a drink? Like, how was your day? Like, how's your weekend going? Like, you know, what do you do here on base? But instead, it's just like it happens to me all the time. But like, I always like have to say no, but I'm really flattered, and I'm just like, stop talking about it. Like, let me just like sulk away to a corner and like knock back a couple of drinks until I forget this ever happened.
That's actually a good point, though, because I think the natural reaction when someone approaches you and you're not interested is to make them feel better and say, "Oh, I'm flattered, but this isn't gonna work."
Oh.
But what would probably be better would be, like what you said, maybe just strike up a conversation and say,
make some
"Hey,
friends.
yeah, make a friend. Just how you doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
I'll still buy you a drink, and
and what I
have some fun with
dislike even more is that like I'll be at like this has happened to me 3 times I think at the bar where like I'll see someone I recognize like around the base because it's a small base and like you recognize everyone, like whether it's like from my mother's work or from my work or from like the gym or whatever, and I'll walk up to them and I'll be like, hey, like how are you? And they'll be like, I'm not gay. And I'm just all like, I was not flirting with you.
Good morning to you too.
But you
I
said
suppose.
you flirt with everybody.
I said I flirt with my friends.
Oh, that's true. Friends. Best friends.
Yeah, that would be irritating though.
Yeah.
To have that be the first reaction.
It's like I see you everywhere. Like I just want to like get to know who you are because I see you all the time, and it's like it would be like as if you had a roommate that you didn't know, like, you know?
Yeah, like my freshman year.
Wait, what? What happened?
My first roommate who never talked to me once. He's really quiet and he doesn't really talk to anybody.
Oh, okay.
So don't take it personally.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We never really.
Okay.
We never hit it all.
Okay. That makes sense. I'm conceptualizing this particular person. Okay.
But I'm surprised that actually happens. Because if you actually see somebody around and you know somebody, wouldn't they assume that you were walking up to them because you knew them? That doesn't make much sense to me.
I know it's really bad, but whatever.
Yeah. But yeah. Yep. Sucky stuff when things are not made completely clear or certain pretexts are held. I feel like that's the worst thing about dating in general is that there are all these sort of pretenses, and the only way you can battle these pretenses, unless you're just going to be a really honest person, which is scary to do, which is you're making yourself more vulnerable, is to have your own set of pretenses. Like, you don't want to come on too strong, but you don't want to seem disinterested, so you have to sort of balance that out instead of, well, it'd probably be better for everyone if you were just sort of like, hey, this is how I feel about stuff. How do you feel about stuff?
Oh, I was very, like, this current person I'm dating, like, I was very clear, like, I like you, I'm gonna want to talk to you at least once a day. And so, like, if like, that makes you uncomfortable, tell me, and I'll be like, okay, you know, I'll only text you, like, once every other day, or I'll only text you when I actually have, like, something interesting to say. Like, I'll probably text them after this and be like, hey, I just did a podcast, like, go listen to it. I talked about
please
you.
Do that. Please, we need viewers.
I talked about you. Don't worry, I didn't say anything unflattering, but
no, I'm not gonna tell my current person to listen to this podcast. I don't know. I'm still very nervous about it. I feel as if I handled my situation pretty well. It was rather straightforward, even though it involved one agonizing day of waiting. In the fact that what I did is that
Isn't that the worst though? The
it is
waiting.
worse.
The
The
waiting is the
waiting.
worst part.
Yeah. At some point, at several points during that day, and a little bit after, on the next day before the response actually came, I had said to several friends, I kind of wish they would just say no instead of having me wait, which I think I wouldn't rather have. I'm still a little bit on the fence about it because I really don't like surprises or being in the dark about things even for a little bit, if it is very easily possible for me to not be in the dark about those things. So what I did at first, or how I propositioned a certain person, is that, well, we just sort of hang out a lot, so I asked her to come over. And I began with an awkward sort of, there is a reason why I've called you here today. Bet you're wondering why I've asked you to assemble here.
Oh my god.
And
Did you really say that?
yes, I did.
God.
So let's continue on with this little story, this little diatribe. So anyway, I sort of you're great and stuff, and yeah, and this. It was a lot more eloquent, I imagine, than what I'm saying right now. I was so nervous. I don't really remember exactly what I was saying, but I remember that being the thing, and apparently she was oblivious to my intentions up until that point. And so I saw that as a bad sign, because I see everything as a bad sign in this realm of everything. Oh, she hasn't even thought of it in that way, shape, or form at
Right,
first.
and if she had, then you would have been all then why is it
Oh,
taking
then
this
why is it
long?
taking so?
Yeah.
Well, I can
Yeah.
understand, because I guess more of an introverted type of person, which I can understand and
that's
relate to. And so that had me a little bit worried. But we just ended up talking like we regularly would after that. So that was encouraging, but not encouraging enough for me to dissuade all of my doubts, because that's just the kind of person that I am.
That's because nothing is encouraging enough for you to dissuade all your doubts.
Well, empirically, I feel the safest thing for me to have done was to expect the worst, considering my track record includes being rejected by people I have not asked out. So, I feel as if it's a little fair. So, anyway, the next day, I feel a little bad about whatever. Well, I don't feel bad about it, but I realized that there was some more intentionality in the way that she went to, I guess, present her answer, which is sweet, because that's also the kind of thing I guess I would want to do, even if I feel as if maybe, even if I were on board, I still would want a little time to think about it, so I could be a bit more showboaty about my response to that kind of question or proposition. So what happened was not the next... Well, actually, I guess it would be the next day. Yeah, it would be the next day. The day afterwards. I don't know. We ended up talking again, but it was not about the subject. And I was like, oh, I guess she's going to bring it up whenever she's going to bring it up. And then we meet later. So yesterday, this is posted on Sunday. This is going to be posted tomorrow, which is Singles Awareness Day, or Valentine's Day. And this event happened yesterday. And what else happened yesterday was the Deadpool movie, which was great, and you should see it. I'm endorsing it because it's just so cool, just so great to see it.
I've
It's
only
great.
heard good
It's
things
whatever.
about it.
Yes, and it's only going to hear more. Hopefully not spoilers. I hope I can contain myself. So anyway, I saw that. I was feeling great because it was a great movie. Come back. I get a text from her. I find a text earlier seeing that apparently, she asked me if I like jazz. And it's sort of like, who doesn't like jazz? I like jazz. Who doesn't like jazz? Because there was a jazz ensemble thing that was happening.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so
yeah,
I
yeah,
realized, she wanted to, you're going to see the jazz ensemble and hang out, and that was kind of romantic-ish and sweet. And that made me kind of happy realizing that, and a little bit sad that I decided to see the Deadpool movie, but then I remembered the Deadpool movie again and thought, I made the right choice.
Oh, yeah, you totally did. Yeah.
I wish I had known that
And then we had we had a free seat at the last minute,
right.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
someone should have texted me or called me and been all like, "Get in right
Yeah,
now."
but we were sort of rushing. We were a little.
What
bit late
time
anyway.
was it at? What
7.
7? I was already at the cherish thing. I mean, you would have picked me up when I was wearing a suit,
Okay.
which I wouldn't have minded.
Hey, yeah.
Mind
Go
it,
to
I mean,
movies in a suit, be the
go
classiest
to,
guy there.
Wipe for the popcorn on my nice white vest.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, she comes over. We hang out a little bit like before, and we're just talking about stuff. It's not awkward, which I thought it was going to be, but it wasn't. And then she's just sort of like, I was thinking about something today, and I'm thinking to our earlier conversation. I asked, oh, you're thinking about ethics or morality? Because that's the conversation we were having. And then she was like, yes, but no, that's not the thing. And then I'm sort of like, oh, well, what other thing is it? And then we get off topic again, talking about other stuff. I think it was on ethics and morality again, and that kind of stuff or whatever. And then she's sort of like, well, I thought about what you said, and I think what you said was... I'm trying to remember more specifically so I can say it more or less verbatim. I feel as if I need to know you more, but I'd be more than happy on knowing you more and going on a few dates. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I don't think I said that. I'm pretty sure that was my internal monologue. I think I was more so like, oh, yes, of course. Nice and suave, whatever. And pretending to be completely confident about this thing I was pretty sure wasn't going to happen for most of the day with apprehension and whatnot. Oh, God, I really hope she doesn't listen to this. But anyway.
Oh, believe me, she won't. Because no one does.
Well, some people do. It's more than 0 views. I mean, more than 1 view on, or more than 2 views, which I guess would be the 2 of us watching on our
That's
videos.
true. That's true.
So at least 1 or a few people have seen.
And then
have
the first
listened to
one
these.
is like over 50, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah. And then we just watched a movie and cuddled, and it was nice.
Well, I think the fact that you can talk to her about things like ethics and morality without her wanting to strangle you is a really good sign.
Right? I mean, you need someone in your life like that.
You really do.
Like that. Like if you have someone who's like not like politically aware and can't have like those deep philosophical conversations, that's not gonna work out with you.
That's
I
really
suppose.
true. That's really true.
I suppose that is true to an extent.
I mean, I could totally imagine like them like dating like for a year, and then like this time around they're like they like make love for the first time, and then after they do it, they just lay in bed and then they start like talking about like ethics and morality.
Okay, now I really hope she doesn't listen to this. That's a little too much pressure. It's been like a day. And
I said in a year, like
but still planning it out that far in advance.
I give you a whole year to have sex for the first time. I think it's fine.
I can totally see it, though. Right after just... You know what I was thinking about? So, the first part of Plato's The Republic...
So you know that experiment with people in the cave and all they saw were the shadows.
Exactly.
And like that's all they were ever exposed to.
Okay.
Like
Okay, you
I
guys...
feel like
all they ever
I
knew.
feel like I've finally gotten out of the cave. I have
Oh
really
my
experienced
God.
life for the first time.
Okay.
Oh, that's actually sounds like some dumb thing I would think about saying in a crucial moment. I'm gonna make sure to remind myself
To
not to say that.
No.
Because that is so bad, but I could see myself saying that.
Oh, I so
hate
could.
it so much.
I
hate it so much that this is the one time you had an impression of me that I think is accurate to an extent.
Oh, the one time?
The one time.
No.
Yes.
All of my...
Other times it just sounds boring.
All
and
of
like, no.
I dreamed a dream of times gone by.
I dreamed a genie.
Of times gone by.
And that's all. That's all. We can't be liquidated.
Yep, that's it.
I mean, we physically
Of
can't.
a
We
life
don't have any-
worth
Yeah.
living.
Okay.
No, I just liked how both of you were like laugh. Like
So
at the same time.
We're just so in sync.
That's not in sync, is it?
No,
No, that's not.
actually
No, that's not
yours.
in sync.
We need to stop singing songs that
Yeah,
aren't
dude,
ours.
yeah.
okay,
ours.
okay, but let's
Okay.
get back to the subject of like Singles Awareness Day and Valentine's Day and
Okay.
Valentine's Day and romance and all that gooey mushy stuff.
Okay.
So, you, Galby, enjoy the romantic box of chocolates, some flowers and stuff. You like that.
As a Tumblr quote once said, as a Tumblr quote,
Did I mention we have a Tumblr?
once said, and like you know it's bad because anytime you have to start a sentence with as a Tumblr
That's a
quote,
Tumblr quote.
even if it's not like you're quoting it for yourself, but as a Tumblr quote once said, I am incurably romantic and kinky as fuck. But more so the
you-
first part.
So you,
More so the first part than the second part, though.
so you enjoy that kind of stuff.
I love romance, yes.
I think there's a spectrum here, and I think you're on one side of it, and it makes me a little sick. But I think farther along that spectrum to hating it is probably Guy. Correct me if I'm
To an
wrong.
extent, in a certain way. Like, I don't like... I'm apprehensive about starting a relationship. I guess romantic gestures are things that I'm sort of like maybe a closet romantic in the fact that I think I would appreciate these things, and when they happen to other couples, I'm like, oh, this is so cute and great, and I enjoy it. But I'd rather everything in sort of my personal fear be sort of direct and standard and predictable and nice. And to me, that's sort of romantic. Like, it's sort of like, this is going to happen at this time and whatever, and for whatever reasons, and nice gesture here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a few times out of the blue saying something that's like nice or affirming or a gift, but like something really regular and comfortable.
I mean,
really
it's
just
like-
want to be comfortable.
Right, like it's that whole thing where if it's like if you do it all the time, then it loses its meaning. Like
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
like that whole idea that we can only know happiness because we know sadness. But like I mean like I love watching it happen to other people. And
Yeah.
like, when I'm like devoid of like romance in my life, I kind of like live vicariously through others. Like I remember last semester when our friends came up and to me, and she's like notorious for being like, I don't want to say a sexual deviant, but like she's very open about her sexuality. Mm-hmm. And she was all like, oh yeah, I'm in this relationship with this guy, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. And then she's like, and we're exclusive. And I'm just like, oh my god, my little baby's exclusive. Like, it's like, I mean, like, I'm all for open relationships and stuff, but like to take that, like, because, like, it's, for me, like, when you move from, like, an open relationship to an exclusive relationship, if open relationships are for you, because they're not for everyone, that when you're the type of person who prefers open relationships to exclusive relationships, you're ready to, like, be with this person for a longer time. I'm sorry about that, Guy.
Oh.
I just spit on Guy.
Just a little.
I saw it too.
I was like, oh.
I didn't
Well,
see
like I saw the tiny
I
particle
just did not know what
fly
that was.
out of my mouth.
I had no idea
and
what
land
that
on
was.
his
I was
leg.
just sort of like, oh, okay. Thing.
But yeah, I mean, it was just so cute because like she's one of my better friends, and it was just adorable. But I like to when I'm devoid of relationships and romance in my life, I live vicariously through others. And so like I don't attack my friends, but I kind of do. I kind of go run up to them and I'm like, tell me about you and your girlfriend. I need to feed.
I just watched Hitch again. That's basically what I do. Hitch is a good movie.
I've never seen it.
What?
We've had this conversation before.
Why haven't you seen Hitch in between the time that we've seen
No,
it?
because is it on Netflix?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Watch it.
Okay.
It's great.
How did we
Do
make,
it.
How did we make this connection?
Well, I mean, how do we?
Why did you just jump onto Hitch?
Because instead
that
of
was so out of the
vicariously
blue.
living through others, I just watch Hitch.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So yeah.
And rather than living vicariously through others, I just have a
Vicariously
girlfriend.
live through characters that Will Smith plays.
No, I just have a girl.
Or actually, I guess. Oh. Well, you know what? Okay. Singles Awareness Day is obviously not for you.
Oh, no.
Well, it's not for you either.
Well,
anymore.
That's true.
In the most technical sense, I suppose. But I
and-
still don't. I don't know. I'd still
and-
think it would be respectful
Wait,
to.
Valentine's is tomorrow. Oh yeah, Valentine's is Sunday.
It's
Sunday,
Right, yeah.
so it's technically today.
So
I say in air
right,
quotes
yeah.
because it's not today, but it's today.
Right, but like I'm really excited because like my boyfriend, he said he's coming down and I'm gonna treat him to Chinese food, and it's like gonna. And I really like. I mean, it's gonna be really sweet. And then I have one of those, like I just because we just started seeing each other, I didn't want to like be like too overwhelming with the free chocolate. But so
Good choice,
right,
good choice.
right. So I bought him. I got him one of these. You know those roses that like the flower part is chocolate and it's just wrapped in like red foil. I got him one of those, like one of and it's not like huge or anything. It's like just kind of small and really cute, and I'm really excited to give it to him.
I just realized something.
What?
I owe someone $20. or I might owe someone $20.
Oh yeah.
Remember, I made this bet with one of my friends. I bet her that she would find someone to date before I did, and I have found someone to date before she did. So
you owe her $20.
I owe her $20.
Oh well, there's worse ways to owe people money.
Whoops. But yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean,
That's true.
at least she's not like a loan shark that's gonna come and like put a cap in your knee.
I mean, she technically doesn't know yet, so I could like. I don't know.
Oh,
Just sweep this under the
Oh.
rug.
Let's just, I don't know. We should start a coalition to get her to date someone. Let's find her someone to date for Valentine's
Right.
Day, and then put it off as if my thing happened after she did. It's devious, and there's obvious proof of the treachery we're doing being recorded right now. But I could get out of
And then
paying
with the $20 that you get for winning the bet.
I could give her $20.
No, I mean you can take your current female companion out to dinner.
Oh.
And it had to be a cheap dinner for $20.
Yeah, for $20.
I don't know. I
But
feel
like
it'd be a
it,
supplement.
I feel like if you got her like on board with this, you could be like, hey, let's like keep this under the radar because I made this bet, and she's like, yeah, let's do it.
Thinking, should I do something? Because it's still like pretty, like we have been
I would
seeing
say-
each other for a while, but it hasn't been romantic until super recently.
If you feel like you want to do something, you can just do something small.
it would be really
don't
relaxed.
do it. Don't put a ton of effort into it.
Would, like making pasta be too much?
No,
Nah.
Okay.
That's just having dinner.
like if
Yeah.
you wanted to, you could even like wait until Monday and go buy a bunch of like discount chocolate and be like, it's a lot of chocolate, but it only cost me $1.
Oh yeah.
Question.
Answer.
We should thank you. We should probably be wrapping this up soon, but I did want
Yeah.
to bring up a really important point. I want to know your guys' opinion on this. I know I think I have an opinion on it, and mine's really in the minority. But those boxes with the chalky hearts in them, yay or nay? Because I love them.
I don't like sweets in
with
general,
an
so
undying passion.
I think they're nice and cute, but I wouldn't get them for me or anyone else.
Oh, I don't care about the like romantic value whatsoever.
Oh, just as
You just
a,
want the candy.
I just want the candy. That is all I want.
that's just
It depends on the flavor, I would say. Like I love the orange ones.
That's true.
The orange ones are my favorite.
Those
but,
are
like,
some of my favorite. Yeah.
they're writing utensils made out of sugar. You write on this. They seem like blackboard materials where you're writing. So that's what their primary use should be. They're chalk that's sweet. So no.
It's still good. It's so good.
I mean, and they're really hard to eat because I'm not a huge fan of hard candy in general, and so like you kind of have to let it sit in your mouth and kind of dissolve, and then until it gets really soft. You know, like how you do with Smarties, or how you're supposed to do with Smarties.
Yeah.
The right way to eat Smarties.
I love that. Though.
Speaking of that, like, have you heard of like smoking Smarties? Like
Yes.
the most stupid thing out
Yes.
there.
No.
Okay, so you take like your Smartie wrap and then you crush it a little bit so you get some like the sugar particles and something like it some kind of does, and then you unwrap it a little bit and then you inhale it like it's a cigarette, and then you blow out and like you blow out the part, and like if you do it right, you can see the sugar or whatever come out of your mouth, but it's like it's so dumb. Like I think it was very popular, like for like high schoolers and stuff. No,
I mean, not in my high school.
I've never heard of this.
But like, and so like it's just like, I mean, like I don't understand it because like
That
sugar is crystallized. Like
that destroys your lungs.
Unless you-
Yeah.
That's probably worse than smoking.
right.
That's terrible.
Moral of the story: go buy a pack of cigarettes. And that's
Yeah,
what-
yeah. Moral of the story: just buy a pack of cigarettes,
Or
Why not
or
just
don't,
buy a pack of
or
cigarettes?
just don't.
Come on, kids. Don't buy Smarties. Buy cigarettes. Make the smart choice.
Right, like, and if you don't want to, and if you want to smoke, but you don't want to smoke Smarties, and you don't want to smoke cigarettes, there's always meth.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay, that I can get behind.
Wait, what?
Not actually.
Are you
but
endorsing
yeah.
meth now?
I mean,
It's so creepy. It's so okay. So before we go, real quick, online dating, like
oh,
We haven't even talked about
we haven't even
that.
talked about that.
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
so like as like a gay man in the 21st century, like especially on a tiny college campus, like I'm kind of like forced to use online dating. Well, I wouldn't say forced. Like that, I actually gave it up for Lent. So I deleted all those apps and like they're off.
I gave up.
I was raised Catholic,
Okay.
and so like I don't so I observe Lent because it's more of a habit, and I kind of like the idea of like giving up one of your vices or like putting a goal in place to make yourself better, more than like observing it for the actual reason. But like I deleted them off my iPad for 40 days of Lent. But there's there's some really nice people, like the current guy I'm seeing, like I met him off Grindr. Like all my ex-boyfriends, I met him off Grindr. Probably not a very positive trend, but considering that like each relationship I've been, like the shortest relationship I've like been with someone who I've actually dated off of a dating app was November to January, 3 months. You know, so that's not that bad.
Yeah.
But like there are just some like crazy people out there. And the reason I thought of this when we brought up meth is because one of the last people who I talked to on Grindr, they're all like, do you party? And I was all like, well, knowing the gay community and knowing like how like drug induced, I was like, what do you mean by party? Because like if you're like down to have a few drinks and like chill, yeah, I like to party. But if it's like you know, smoking meth, I'm like, no, I'm definitely not down to party. But he's like, oh, you know, like sit around and smoke some tea, which is like short for Tino, which is a euphemism for meth.
Oh, okay.
And so yeah. And so I was like, no. Like, no, thank you. I was like, I reported him. I blocked him. I was like, I do not need that in my life. And that was actually one of the things that like made me decide, yep, this is what I'm giving up for Lent.
Boy.
You know, it's funny. I have smoked tea before.
But like actual
tea.
tea.
Because I
was about to smack you, boy.
I went through a phase of my life where I would roll my own cigars, but they were like cigarillos because I had the cigarette papers and then the cigarette roller, so I just fill it with pipe tobacco.
Just being a hipster.
And I mean, kind of, but I would fill it with pipe tobacco, and so I used to mix my own teas together too, and that was really fun. But I was thinking one day, like, I wonder if this would taste like mint if I smoked it. So I rolled a tea cigar and I smoked it, and it wasn't all that bad. So I've smoked tea before and it's not that bad.
Okay. Smoked tea not being meth.
Tea as in, he smoked tea as in T-E-A, not tea as in T-I-N-A.
Yeah. So.
Tino.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, I've smoked tea before. I'm a wild guy.
Yeah.
My online dating experience was not the best, and I gave it up because it just wasn't good. I never got that many responses, and the responses I did get were from people that I did not match well with. Like, I did not approach anyone or message anyone unless they were at least 80% compatible based on whatever the metric was. But I always got messages from people below that, but like way below that, like only 20% or 50 and under. I'm like, hey, this site says we should hate each other and claw each other's teeth out. Why are you messaging me?
Because that's dating. That's being in a relationship.
No. And then what happened after that, apparently, there was this one person who actually I did end up having a conversation with, but being the sort of pretentious, persnickety asshole that I am, I ended it based on a humorous whim in the fact that we were talking. And then I was talking about Star Wars because I was excited for Star Wars, and she said she did not like Star Wars, and I just stopped talking to her after that. And I'm not proud of what I did, but remembering it still fills me with glee. It was just, and it was so abrupt too. Oh, it's actually pretty terrible. I really hope she doesn't listen to this.
Oh, I hope she does.
I really hope
I hope she claws to the depths of YouTube and finds this.
What? You don't have to claw to the depths. You can just look up happy guys and then a topic or
and
that
then,
owl guy and we'll
find,
come up. We'll come up.
Find the 3 happy guys that are on YouTube.
Well, 4 after this is up.
No, I meant the 3 actual...
Oh, the 3 actual ones that you
yeah,
can...
the channels happy guys.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Because I have to claw through those actual successful channels before they get to this one.
They've had more time. I don't know. We have
when has a new channel ever like started off successful?
One that piggybacked off of another channel that was successful?
Yeah, so... seeing as how we're just starting
Not React
from
World.
Zero...
All that.
Oh, don't sue us, please.
Oh no, we said the wrong word. Okay.
Now it will be liquidated.
On that note, we should probably go into hiding.
It's been fun.
Okay.
Hope you enjoyed it, because you're not getting it again.
Went a little bit over time, but I think this was a good episode.
Yeah, it was.
Happy Single Awareness Day or Valentine's Day,
Stop
depending on...
calling it Singles Awareness Day.
Why not?
Because it's...
How about this? Instead of Singles Awareness Day, it's Valentine's A. For those who won't be getting the V or the D on Valentine's Day.
Okay, yeah. I feel like we
Okay.
can close it on that remark.
Okay, I like that.
Okay. See you guys, or I guess you'll hear us next week.
And, say goodbye. Goodbye, Galby.
Master has given Dolby sick. Dolby is free.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Okay.
So, see you next week.
Bye.
Robots, I used to know the code to make you overload and cry.
Okay, was a splendid episode, wasn't it? You're listening to That Owl Guy yet again for the outro, and this week we're doing things a bit differently for Valentine's Day. I have a recording of me interviewing a long-term couple, Drew and Amanda, and they're going to tell us what exactly has made their relationship their relationship. So I hope you enjoy these few bits of questions and can learn something, whether you're on the singles awareness side or you're in a relationship of your own. I think you'll like this segment. I'll catch you guys for the rest of the outro after the interview.
But your perfect skin still shines. Sometimes I think I see your smile.
Hello, Happy Guys listeners. This week's outro is going to be a bit different in the fact that we're interviewing a long-term couple, Drew and Amanda. How does it feel to be the first couple on Happy Guys?
Yeah, I feel very honored. How about you, Amanda?
Ditto.
Okay, that's a good attitude to have. We've had a lot of guests this past week. Just more and more people on the show, more perspectives and voices. But what's important this week is knowing what exactly makes a good couple. How long have you guys been together?
Almost 3 years.
It's 3 years.
You see, the thing is, it's been almost 3 years since the day after we had our 2-year anniversary, so that's a thing.
It'll be 3 years in July.
Oh. So, just important milestones. Everything's working nice and well, and you guys are just really nice and cute, and it's just all romantic and gushable and stuff.
I mean,
Okay.
that's quite cliche.
Well,
but-
it is, but
I mean, our relationship isn't exactly... I mean, it's not rainbows and butterflies every single day. But we love each other. Isn't that
well,
right?
that's what's important. Okay, on to questions. Here's one that's a little bit silly. How much strategy goes into your cuddle game?
It's all in the arms.
It's all in the arms?
It's all in the arms.
What's wrong with... What about the arms? What about the arms exactly?
I mean, it's difficult. I mean, okay, so the cuddle game. A lot of it is how you're positioned when you're laying. I personally prefer to be the big spoon.
Okay.
And the problem is finding the one spot to put the awkward arm, because usually you can either put it like down, like straight down your body, and then it's smashed between the two of you. But I don't like that.
Okay.
You can put it behind you, where it just gets uncomfortable and it falls asleep. My personal favorite is put it underneath the pillow behind her head, and then the other arm goes around her,
See, that last solution is basically the one that I usually opt for.
which is the most comfortable, personally.
Makes sense. Works best. Also think about proximity and how you're positioned, because if you're like a little too close head-wise, then you might just get a mouthful of hair or something uncomfortable like that.
You see, when you cuddle, though, that's what you kind of get used to.
Oh.
I almost always have a mouthful of hair.
That's an inevitability?
Yep, and then
Oh, okay.
it just slightly tickles your face throughout the night. You just got to learn to get over it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Next question. A little bit. Let's see which one. Are either of you still friends with any of your exes?
I am, kind of. Drew's
Yeah,
more so than
kind
I
of.
am.
Not really. I mean, I have friends that when I see them, I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, oh my god, yeah. But then in reality, I'm not really actually friends with them. It's
So
more
not
just
active
so that
conversation.
I don't dislike them.
Okay. So it's fine, but you're not like, hey, how's it going? How are the kids?
Yeah.
How are the
I mean,
how's the wife?
I don't go out of my way to like hang out with them, and it would be inappropriate for me to hang out with just them by themselves, considering they were my ex. And even if nothing's going to happen, that's still not what you should do when you have somebody else. So, I mean, mine at least, we're friends. We're just not. You're never going to be as good of friends as you were before you started dating because it kind of messes things up. What about you, Amanda?
Same.
Okay. Next question. How do arguments usually play out between you two?
I say sorry.
That's just it? Just
You need to choose your battles.
okay. Do you ever choose battles in which you don't say sorry?
Oh, yeah. Well, usually So how it goes is, it's usually about nothing of any importance. Would you agree?
Mhm.
And then we argue, and then one of us feels bad, and we're both stubborn, so neither of us wants to say sorry. So then it goes on for a while, and then usually I say sorry, but then she does too, and then I'm like, Amanda, you're being stubborn right now. And then she's like, I know I'm being stubborn, but I know I can't say it because I'm stubborn. And then time passes, and then at some point throughout the night or day, one of us will be like, I'm sorry, and then we'll realize that it was stupid, and then it goes from there. Rarely do we have meaningful arguments. I mean, we do occasionally, but the majority of them are not meaningful. But I believe that if you have a relationship and you get along with the person perfectly fine, then you're doing it wrong. Because you should be able to show your own opinions to each other and not just agree with every single thing they say all the time.
Okay.
Personally.
Bit of a tougher question. Was there ever a time in your relationship that you felt like breaking up or taking a break for a short period of time?
No. Not like full on, like, oh, I think I might break up with him today kind of thing. Like,
Okay.
No.
no.
That's good. I mean, that should be probably the state of mind that you have in a long-term relationship or a
Yeah.
good, healthy, strong
Like, if you
relationship.
want to break up with the person at any point, I don't think it's a really healthy relationship.
I mean, we've had conversations where we're like, hey, have you ever, like, thought about, like, break, or, like, going with somebody else? Or, like, we've had, like, many conversations, but then we're always like, in the end, we realize that you don't want anybody else and you just want to.
When you
Stay
think
with
of
the
your
person, yeah.
future, you should think of that person. Otherwise, it's not exactly a, like I said, healthy relationship.
What's the point of dating if you're not going to plan, or at least hope to plan, some sort of future together?
Nicely said. Okay, let's see. Are there small things you do for each other that you didn't normally do before?
I didn't used to kiss her before.
I don't know, maybe an affectation change or a habit change. You thought, oh, this might actually be a little bit annoying, but then you sort of stopped doing it after you started
Actually,
dating.
recently,
Oh.
I pointed out the fact that I extremely dislike the way he spits out his toothpaste after brushing his teeth.
So
It's
now-
very obnoxious.
I make a specific point to spit quietly, and then I give her a look, and she rolls her eyes at me.
Yep.
So that's
Basically.
something for me. What about you?
I can't think of anything right now off the top of my head. There's probably multiple things.
I mean, yeah, it's been 3 years. I'm sure something has changed with him in
Yeah.
that time.
I would say.
How did you guys start dating? And go into that as much as you want to or don't want to.
So we were friends in high school, and after I graduated from high school, I was planning on going away to Carroll in the fall. So we spent some time together during the summer as friends, and then a few weeks before I left, we were just hanging out, and then somebody, we can't decide who, initiated the kiss.
It was her. She pulled me in.
No, it was him.
She had her arms on my neck. We were in the back seat of a car. It was at night by an abandoned garage. Point is, she pulled me in.
Okay. Last
All we did was kiss, I promise.
Okay. I believe you. Last question.
Make that sound way worse than it did.
I know, and I realized that
No,
afterwards.
it's fine. Steamy. Passionate. Oh, I guess
It was
another
pretty
question I didn't
steamy.
think about. What do you think is more important? Next one that I didn't write down. Passion or dedication?
Dedication.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Just
mean,
on point.
you can have
It's hard to maintain passion.
you can have passion, but you kind of need the dedication to keep the passion going.
To have a potential for a passion.
I don't know.
I mean, passion can fade, but if dedication fades, you're kind of
Screwed.
yeah.
Okay.
Look at us finishing each other's sentences.
Oh. Last question. What did you think? Okay. Oh, I wrote this wrong. Down a bit wrong. Okay. What features of your partner do you find attractive that you did not previously think was all that great before?
I can't think of things that weren't all that great before for her.
Of course, you'd pick the corny route, wouldn't you?
Or maybe something that you didn't, maybe not something you disliked, but something you didn't really take notice of before, but after you've been dating for a while, you realize it was something you really, really liked about the other person.
He's a cute butt. I never used to be a butt kind of guy, you know?
Amanda.
Choose the
can't-
obvious option.
I would. What? What's the obvious option?
Should we have Shane read the question again?
Oh. Amanda, what's something that you like of Drew that you may not have previously thought you would like when you first met him? A personality thing, probably, or maybe some type of affectation that he has, or a habit that you thought maybe was annoying at first, but now you find it endearing.
His full-headedness. In high school, he was quite full of himself.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was kind of annoying, but now it's him. It's how he is.
There's a difference between being full of yourself and having confidence.
Oh, so what
He
first
has a lot
appeared...
of confidence.
Okay, so what first appeared cocky is now confident.
There's still cockiness sprinkled on top.
Oh, okay. Just a little bit.
Well, yeah.
His sense of humor.
Well,
I do have a great sense of humor.
He thinks. He usually is the one that laughs at his own jokes.
that-
95% of the time.
I'll be lying in bed and I'll make a joke and she won't think it's funny and then I'll be laughing uncontrollably
For like 5 minutes.
and she'd be like, "It's not funny," and I'm like,
Dying.
can't even hold it in.
Okay. Is there anything you'd want to tell new couples or old couples or whatever other kind of couple on this singles awareness / Valentine's Day? Just to help them out.
I mean, at the risk of being super, 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 super corny,
Okay.
it's worth the wait.
It's worth the wait.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, or I don't know, a lot of people, but some people go a really long time without having a relationship of any form, and they get kind of upset that they don't have one. Like, I know specific people, but I mean, I think that there is not just one person out there for every single person. I'm sure there's a lot of compatibility, but I feel like if you wait, and it will be worth it in the end.
Okay.
To have somebody out there that you know is constantly caring about you, and that thinks about you all the time, and that you're thinking of them. Just knowing that there's someone out there to be with.
Mm-hmm.
I said at the risk of being corny.
Anything to add, Amanda?
Maybe more so share the love. A lot of couples, they can fight often. You have to have those moments of corniness to kind of overshadow the non-corny parts of the relationship.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
As a reference from a card I once got, roses are red,
but sometimes they're thorny. When I'm not with you, I get kinda corny.
Oh, okay. Nice twist. Well, thank you so much for letting me ask you these personal questions about your long-term relationship. I hope you guys have a wonderful Valentine's Day, and I will be signing off shortly. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Happy Guys Valentine's Day episode. I hope you enjoyed the extended outro. Now it's back to business. This week, you were listening to Jay Mono's Be Yourself in the beginning of the episode. Between the episode and the interview, you were listening to You Were My Robot Lover by Quiet Music for Tiny Robots. And right now, you're listening to Organ Nanomatron by Spinning Merkaba. You can catch up for updates and more at our Tumblr at thosehappyguys.tumblr.com or at Facebook, which is simply the Happy Guys Facebook page. If you want to follow my stuff in particular, you can still go to my WordPress at owlguy.wordpress.com or at my Twitter on @ThatOwlGuy. Thanks again for another great episode. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Valentine's Day or Singles Awareness Day. Remember, if you enjoy our content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You'll be hearing from us next week.